Don't drop.
You know, because I like the use, I would suggest the following. First of all, fancy pops free for all enemies. Second of all, let's say a +1 to AC for the rest of this battle. As
Okay.
the force of the Oracle suffuses fancy for just a moment, making her enemies recoil and embolstering her.
Just like blows past. Neat. Great. Like it. All right.
Neat.
Neat. Yes. I'll go ahead and roll to sustain. I do sustain the Song of Thunder. To be targeting some friends. Would you like friends? I like friends. How many nearby enemies will be targeting today? 4 nearby enemies. Now, do each of the books in this mob count as separate targets, like how we ruled like towards the second half of the campaign I ran, Sheep? Or is it one separate?
Yes, I think we should do it the same way.
Okay. Well, 3 of those targets of the 4 are going to be the Shadow of Nothing Group 2. And then the final one will be this Chaos Acolyte here. Fancy is suffused by the power of the Oracle and love, which in theory will conquer all. This will be against the first 3 are going to be against the mob. So this will be the first attack against this mob down here. 29 versus physical defense.
Yes.
For the thunder damage. This is the second attack against this mob. 18 versus defense. And then the third attack against the mob will probably be a miss.
Still a hit.
Okay, so 36 points of thunder damage the mob of mooks will take.
36 you say. Or Martha's Heart. That takes out at least 2 of them. With this one being heavily damaged.
Then the final one being against the Chaos Acolyte in this square. 18.
That hits.
For 12 points of thunder damage.
Alright.
Move and quick action. Fancy is just going to pour into, like, standing strong and feeling the love of the Oracle pour into her. She knew she understood the Lady of Rainbow Scales better than these gray people did. That will end Fancy's turn.
Perhaps even being filled with determination that she can, in fact, fight these things.
Absolutely. Look at them dissipating, the shadows of evil.
Graham then.
Alright, try to just attack this thing. Scrub 2 damage. But
Yes, that hits.
I'll do my search of strength for 11 bonus. If it doesn't die, that is.
It does die. It was staggered. I forgot to mark it as such.
Okay.
But it goes down.
Damn, I should let these skeletons attack first then.
And dissolves into a pile of transparent goo as well as very human bones.
Alright. Well, go here and help you miss. Well, Edling can... well, I can't really damage those things, so it'll go here and take care of that thing. And you know what? Probably Skeleton can go and be with that one.
And now your damage and save for the Otherling.
Yeah, Skeleton will attack the Shadow and do nothing. Edling will attack this one for potentially 3 damage. And then I will save for Edling first and then for Graham.
Yep, that is in fact 3 points of damage.
Nope. And Graham, no.
Got those 2s and 1s out of your system, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, this Chaos Acolyte does not wish to fight this silly servant, but he decides that he has to, and will swing at the Elling for a critical.
He is. I will not fight this fucking servant, you shittler.
Blam. Alright, well, I guess Edling is gone for now.
And he's confused about being gone.
Wow.
Hang on now, what is going on to me? Oh!
Enrican.
Well, it's time to clean house. Can I just walk away from... Yep, you're right. Can I just walk away from this acolyte?
You can if you want to accept the attack of opportunity.
Goodbye.
All right.
It might confuse you. Like, if
That's
it confused you, then fuck.
I have
Here's
more
one and slap the
temporary.
mess.
I have more temp hit points. Yeah, well, I'm taking my chances here, right?
Yeah, I noticed.
We'll walk here.
It's safe.
Yep, safe over here. And Anarchin with the dagger will start chanting, and then with a scream, double over as his vast necromantic powers basically explode out of him in a stream of mist and horror, clawing and destroying everything as he casts Circle of Death.
I thought it was an accident last time.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh.
50 negative energy damage, and since it hits everything, I'm just gonna start rolling d20s basically.
Well, do take them in turns. We know what's what.
Yes. Let's see here. Yes.
Only 2 for all allies. So I'm
Yeah,
okay
just start like clockwise or something, so we know which roll goes to which.
I will start clockwise with Graham.
Okay.
I
26.
guess I take
hits.
1 point of negative energy damage.
Right. Chaos Acolyte.
That's against PD. Yes, that hits,
Right.
and it just absolutely explodes.
Dimas.
It
Nope.
misses Demez.
Nope.
You take half damage, Henrik.
Yep. Which means
Take 1.
take
Yes.
1.
All the no.
Chaos Acolyte
Yes,
takes 50.
it explodes.
Just with free
Just-
skeleton mook 2. Yes.
Master what?
Whop! Yeah,
Take, like, 2 points of damage, though.
They
per-
just
It's an ally.
It is an ally, luckily, yes. It'll
two.
take 2 to 9. Alright, oh dear. We will go Shadow of Nothing 7.
The entire mob just explodes.
Okay, well. Gilgalad.
No.
Okay, that's 2 misses for me. Fancy.
Yep.
Yep. Crumbling Skeleton.
Oh, oh.
Yep.
You almost killed it.
Chaos Acolyte.
Yes, it explodes.
Just ripped free skeleton mook 1. Yes. Just ripped free skeleton mook. Just him, basically. Yes. And Shadow Nothing 4. Crits and just fucking disintegrates.
For 100 damage. Look around.
At this point, just for my own sanity, let me double check the damage on that spell in the book, but I think it's actually correct.
It is.
Just for my own sanity.
Anrakin walks up and just
Nice that we only take
destroys everything.
D6. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I've had enough.
that's 100% correct. I've used this spell before. The problem is that you need it to warm up. Like, the escalation die has to be 3 or above, which is illegal
it's-
because it's the
It's
escalation
2.
die is currently 2 right now.
Oh, I thought it was 2. I thought it was 2.
Escalation, you can't cast a spell unless the escalation die is 3+.
I
Circle of Death.
thought it was 2. That is my bad. That is my bad. Roll everything back. I'm so sorry.
All right, I do fortunately remember approximately where things were. I think this guy was here.
Yep.
So basically,
and
just
3 of these.
what we all saw was like a vision of
Yep.
madness. There, like,
Uh-oh.
what
Could have been.
This is
and
coming.
Enrican like keels over like, oh,
He could control it. He was like, oh! Damn it. Not now.
All right, this is what could have happened next turn.
Yes.
So let's see what actually happens this turn.
Luckily, that is not
Enrican
what
moves.
happened. Anarchin
Me,
moves.
myself.
In that case, we will. Oh dear. We'll do a chant of endings.
Oh,
Yep. Yep. It targets a nearby enemy with the lowest hit point.
I guess that would be. Would the mob count?
Yes.
Let's see.
The mob
The total
counts.
HP of the mob, or just one of the mooks?
Well, let's see here. Chant of endings.
Mob's work is based on like total HP. Like his
Total HP. Okay, so it would target this guy.
That guy? Okay. Chant of endings.
Yep, that hits.
Yep. 17 damage.
Okay, and he is in death knell range.
Alright, well, death knell him then.
And he is out. He hears your chant and he agrees that it's time to go.
Yeah,
As he too dissolves into a pile of goo and bones.
Fancy gets 8 hit points.
Not sure how she feels about that.
My power grows.
Right, Gilgalad.
Well, first of all, I think. Well, to be fair, 2 of them I think were actually next to me.
If you say so, I applaud your honesty.
I mean, yeah, to be fair. Okay. So, first of all, let's try to disengage. Hello. Yeah,
-1, that's still a success.
I do love how the occultist is like, no, wait a second here, wait a second.
Alright, did you look at the book here? Actually, you can't.
This doesn't look right.
Wrong, like, timeline I jumped into.
Yes, like,
That's not what happened.
Moment Anakin stepped on that circle. Everything went wrong.
There was an enemy from Group 1 up here engaged with this guy too, Sheep.
From group? Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah. He was alone.
Okay.
Okay. And I believe in YouTube we will find all the rest later on.
I think this is about right.
Yeah, more
I
or
think
less.
I don't. Was there one between me and Demes, or did he die?
Oh,
I moved
there
up
was
here
one at
to-
one point.
One of these guys who's over here in Group 2, I think, was in that cluster mine.
Yeah, I don't think the Grim killed him.
There was an acolyte over there at some point.
Yes, there was
But-
3 acolytes
Yes.
over there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, about it.
But it's fine.
You know, for the sake of everything, let's
Not
just leave it
fucking
like
around
this.
anymore.
I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
That's fine. Shit happens. But
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it all
Next
over again
turn
next
we'll
turn.
do it.
So
So,
know your spells, mark it in your macro so we can see immediately.
I did it now.
and I will target the Shadow of Nothing 6, the one who is currently, I believe, not bleeding, staggered, with my Spirits of the Righteous. So, is 16 enough to hit his
That
mental?
misses.
Well, Gilgalad summons the spirits for vanity, I suppose. And as this is a standard action, I will observe the correct timeline this time.
Who's the nearby ally with the fewest hit points? I don't think Anrigan counts because he has all the temporary hit points. I think it's me.
I think it's you, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
temporary
that-
hit points probably don't count.
Fascinating.
So yeah,
I'm not used to this.
and +2 to AC.
See that?
The spirits seem to like you quite a bit.
As they should.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy.
Yes. Okay, that's all.
Okay. This group, which is this guy over here, will doesn't really like attacking skeletons, so it'll try to disengage and fail and be forced to attack the skeleton with its icy, shadowy touch, which misses and does nothing. It'll swivel over here in disappointment. As the other group will swarm Gilgalad. 1, 2, 3. Fancy taking
Crumbling
a step back.
skeleton, intercept one of them. Just rip
Yes,
3
it
skeleton.
will. It will intercept
you can
one of them.
intercept one of them.
Okay,
It moves in.
both of them. All right,
Yoink.
they are disappointed. Let's see, this against Gilgalad.
That is enough.
Okay, this against Crumbling Skeleton,
Crumbles.
and this against the Upper Mook. Miss. See, this Acolyte, I believe, is actually out of the combat. Yes. No, I don't want to delete the token. This guy, however, is not. He has free reign over his targets. Also, he thinks. Anakin did make himself available. There's nothing that can intercept him, so that's good.
Is Graham a border state? Like,
Reaching the core.
I stand on the edge of nations.
I'm not defined by lines.
Your feeble lines cannot.
20 versus Anakin.
no,
yes.
temporary hit point. Why? Bam.
They have only rolled higher than 16 once, which was, I think, against the Mook or the
It rolled
editing
like a
or
20 and
something.
blew up my.
Yep.
And
I
we
like-
do appreciate that.
Hey,
And
I got critted too, although it wasn't by a Chaos Acolyte.
Don't like the confusion. So let's keep
see,
it
this
this way.
guy is also out of the combat. The escalation is now properly for real at 3.
Uh-huh.
Dimmers.
Yeah,
I mean, at this point, you might not even want to use the circle.
I will try to.
Might
walk.
not, I guess. We need to get...
Just think of all the other friends we might have to deal with.
The rest
temple.
of
Does
the
that
Captain Drop
hit the highest
and
MD?
Coppergate.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Bye, Demez. Can't fucking target him with your circle now, asshole.
Alright. Fancy.
Let me go ahead and roll to sustain. Okay, it fails, so we go into the final verse of the Song of Thunder. This will be targeting 3 nearby enemies, and if it misses, it will deal half damage. I'm going to sing against the Chaos Acolyte up here, targeting Anrican. The Chaos Acolyte here, engaged with the Just Rip Free Skeleton Mook, and then 1 against Group 2, Shadow of Nothing.
Okay.
The first attack will be against the Northern Chaos Acolyte up there. That is going to be 50 points of thunder damage.
Yep.
To the abyss with thee!
You saw how much
What?
damage
Yeah,
Anrican
it
did
does.
in that alternate reality, and you said yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't. Fancy said no. I'm going to have to put him down. This will be against the Southern Chaos Acolyte. 21 versus
That's a hit.
for 25 thunder damage.
He is heavily, heavily staggered.
And
I'm
this
a
is
fan of
against
this spell here.
this is against Shadow of Nothing Group 2. This is a song. This is a bardic song.
Yeah. It's,
15 versus physical defense against the Shadow of Nothing Group 2.
That hits. That destroys 2 of them and wounds the last one.
Okay.
Good value.
The song crashes as like the pillars and like the altar finish like cracking, maybe like a statue topples over. Fancy moves to engage this last shadow. Greatsword held up. I end my turn with rolling a save for damage. I'm no longer taking the damage.
Okay, Graham.
Try to kill this thing. We have a 3 escalation die. $15 points.
Are you attacking? This one. Yes, he's dead.
Good. And I will roll my save.
Now you'd be Circle of Deathing two enemies.
Yeah, that's a success.
Anakin.
Using the nuke doesn't seem to be that of a good idea anymore. Move here.
Do it anyway.
Unlimited power. No, Anakin seemed to be able to repress whatever power threatened to overwhelm him.
so that alternate reality and went. Ah.
Yep. Oh. And we'll do a chant of endings. Targeting the closest thing with the least hit points.
Is it Group 1 or Group 2? Group 1 or Group 2, sheep.
Group 1, Shadow of Nothing, sounds like a band.
Group 2.
Yep, that's a hit for 19 damage.
The shadow dissipates.
Pounds the rest of the dudes.
Death knell?
No.
Okay. That's it.
Remember your mooks.
Oh yeah. Let's
It's
slash.
ongoing, and they can fight.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Mob, 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 mob.
Yep.
The other two go for the good of the city.
One.
That hits.
One hit for 5.
He is in definite range now.
There you go,
But
victory.
since you can't really split up your turn though. You can't first act, then let the mooks act, and then take your other action. The mooks would have to act before or after you. So
Well-
he is in definite range for next time.
Those mooks do say that they take their turn immediately after yours, so it does imply they
Yeah.
have a turn.
Suffice to say, that last shadow is maybe does not belong in this world.
Well, Gilgalad, purge it from this world.
I will certainly try to do so. And I will begin with a focus, and then unleash a karmic rebuke to banish it where it belongs. But maybe, just maybe, I didn't quite. Right, Sip?
No, that's a miss.
Yeah, that's
To the abyss. God damn it.
it was not meant to. Not by my hands anyway.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, that's all.
Shadow of Nothing will try to disengage.
One
-2.
final turn of spite.
Yes. And it'll see in the alternate reality. It'll go
fight
for Graham, I guess. And we'll swipe at him. And miss.
Yeah. All right, Demez, complete the mission.
I mean, if you haven't realized it at this point, the dice are so much in your favor, you don't even know. Jesus Christ.
What do you mean we don't
I
even
haven't
know?
got a
You see
single
the
melee crit from anyone, not even a skeleton.
I will complete the
My
mission.
poor invocation.
Complete the mission.
My hit points got jacked up, bro. Man, come on.
I have to. Oh man, what the fuck?
Just fucking get it, Jack.
No, I know. I'm going to finish the mission.
You know, yeah, Jake, who the dice haven't been in his favor either. God, he's only hit one attack in this
True.
battle against the dragon, who then went out the door.
It was not.
That's true.
Got there. It's completely beaten. Like Warwick and just murdered him.
Hey!
That's a miss.
Oh.
It is staggered. It's dead.
I will hope so.
Let me use my once per battle.
Right. The combat is over. Through the smashed entryway to this place, you can also kind of see that Oryx battle also over.
Don't
Yes, we-
know whether we should take a quick rest here. think we might want to.
I mean, if we don't, we also keep all our shit going.
No, that's not how it works.
So a short rest.
No.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Well, I mean, we might want to search Granus' body. That's the only thing I could think of that might be of interest, like what he had on the altar.
Well, another maybe some sort of interest would be
I mean, Warwick, by the way, is on our side, I think, giving him a look.
probably.
So hopefully, like, he's not like, they killed Granith, condemn them!
Right.
Kill them all.
Like, whoever's coming will encounter, like, Warwick first, unless Warwick's dead, but...
By the
Like a
way,
dead
do the acolytes and Granath seem to have reverted to their original appearance?
They seem to have reverted into a combination of very quickly evaporating goo and mists that seem to be drawn back into the hole that is forming in the center, as well as skeletal remains of humans really.
Alright.
And Gilgalad would like to examine
Is
that.
there any stuff
hole,
on those skeletal
basically.
remains, or are they just completely bare bones?
There are bits of clothing and such that just got ripped apart as the transformation happened. They don't really have any possessions. Graneth doesn't seem to be carrying anything worth of value either. In this room, there are some crates. However, those seem to be, well, supplies, foodstuffs, really.
I suppose we should go find that vault. Maybe Warwick can help us with that.
Before we go anywhere, I would like to examine this place.
This circle, tell me.
Well, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Aduial's stories, but she is said to protect a world parallel to ours. It's some sort of a veil, if you wish, that she has enclosed a number of terrible demons and entities. These cracks here seem to be leaking, if you want, from that world to ours.
I reckon we'll look at the cracks. Does it feel familiar, Sheep?
Well, let's just go with yes.
Okay. He nods. He looks at them. I am familiar with this. I have seen this before. Or at least experienced. This must be sealed up. I agree.
The very fact that you have experienced something like that before is beyond disturbance. This shouldn't even be possible, theoretically.
I can shoot a glance over at him. It made me what I am. I can tell you the story once we're out of here.
Yes, it has to wait. For now, do you perhaps have any idea of how we could stop it?
Anrikin, as it happens, is a master of the mystic arts, and perhaps he could figure out something to cast over this as a sort of sealing magics to try to mend this hole.
Okay.
And Gilgalad is of course gonna assist with his observation and perhaps any stories he may have from the teachings of Adoyal. In case the seal is broken, follow procedure A.
Let's see if I can figure something out. Yes. Does a 19 work for you?
All right, Bill Wheaton.
A 31 is definitely significant enough that Enrican, I mean, he's probably thought about how to combat whatever happened back then before. Of course, working with just theories and hearsay and all those things, but those theories that Enrican might have been thinking about seem to be very much applicable here.
Mm-hmm.
He figures that if he can perhaps just channel enough of the thing's own energy back into itself, it'll basically eat itself.
Okay.
For example, a ritual of a sufficiently powerful spell would probably do the trick.
He looks at it. What would be a sufficiently powerful spell?
For example, Circle of Death, a daily, essentially.
All right. Alrican looks at it and says, I can do it. I can channel enough power to seal this up, but it will... He looks somewhat grim looking at it. It might be dangerous.
I don't think it can be more dangerous than this crack completely opening.
To be perfectly honest, I have not cast or tried to control this power on this magnitude. I would need to have to. He sort of looks around. All of you, well, he looks at Dimes specifically. Should probably leave. Gilgalad, if you wish to risk it, I believe your assistance would be helpful.
I will certainly try to give you as much of it as I can.
Alright, then I hope your god watches over me as much as she does you in this case. He sort of throws back his hood raises his staff and begins the necessary incantations to cast a ritual version of Circle of Death. Basically reaching deep within himself, calling up on the horrid power that rests within him, and basically going into a death match where they're trying to wrestle enough power and control over it to channel it and seal this up.
Could perhaps Gilgalad try to use a ritual with a heal to counter effect the negative effects of the circle?
I think that would be very appropriate. Also, the ritual will take a bit, not on the hour scale, but probably somewhere around 5 to maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, that will have to do. Demes, watch the door.
Yeah, sure, I gotcha, man.
Stab anything that tries to get in here, because you don't want to see what's going to happen in here.
Just lie.
Warwick tries to walk in.
You can't interrupt the very important induction ritual of the acolytes.
Basically, how I see this is like Anarchin in the middle, closest to the skull, and then just this maelstrom of dark necrotic energy and fog and prismatic lights, and it is just like screams, the terrible screams of it, and then maybe outside, Gilgalad trying to contain it, basically.
Terrible screams are a great way for people to come in. You should probably take that up.
Quiet, they're mostly mental.
Like a summer wind.
This summer breeze. No, it's how I flavor this power. That is probably how this would actually do.
Even if it was a quiet affair, the things that you have done before that, not so much. Especially Warwick outside. I mean, the people who have gone outside to check on Warwick will very quickly realize that the second guard, who was at some point at the door, has very much gone. But there's no corpse, so he probably left. Being undetected, not really possible anymore. People are probably like, what the hell?
It's not a matter of being undetected, it's being a matter of them listening to the cacophony.
Yeah. That said, roll me a d4 to see how long this actually takes. Or will take to be successful. 10 minutes, alright. And let's follow that up with the actual rolls for the ritual, because this is not a trivial thing. Contacting a spirit, you can kind of take it slow and be careful. Here...
But what if we want to do stuff with
this? This requires R&D!
Like why do we get to see how the ritual's doing immediately?
Okay, is there anything that the others wish to do in these 10 minutes?
Definitely.
Alright, let's do that first.
Yes, rushing out immediately following the victor of the battle. As rush towards Warwick, looking at him, giving him a quick look up and down. Still worked up from the battle. Says, "You all right?"
Warwick is currently basically clenching his teeth, looking at the wall, looking down, not really moving much. He seems to be all right. He has some deep gashes, but nothing that seems immediately life-threatening. He does take a long moment to respond. Occasional sparks and slight arcs of lightning, kind of jumping from his clenched teeth. So he turns around to grab him. I am okay. We have attracted attention.
I'm not. That's why we must hurry. I would be more cautious about this. Offer you some aid, but looks back to Fancy coming after him. There's a vault where Greneth has taken the artifact he stole from the religious communities. We'll need to find it before this whole place is sealed down.
Warwick hesitates for a moment, kind of tilting his head, but then looks towards Fancy and nods. I do know where it is. It is not in the main vault, otherwise there would be no possibility of reaching it. These items were collected by Greneth for his own purposes and deposited in his very own vault.
Fancy hobbles up, gritting her teeth, and says, "I would very much like to return them to where they were taken from, Warwick. Would you please help?"
He squeezes his eyes shut for a moment, kind of shaking his head. I think I should help you. There are, however, non-human defenses in place that I cannot circumvent. It should not be too difficult to get past them, however, they will oppose us and further take up some of our time. I do expect that the matter will escalate quickly. The guard will already be moving. And while I think that my word should be enough to perhaps not justify the actions, but enough to prevent extreme actions by those who would like to interpret this the wrong way.
You better hurry then.
That and like Fancy like turns around as like Demez like comes out and like closes the doors.
Yeah.
Well, the doors really aren't there, and that's splinters.
He tries to close the door, it like
Demez,
falls.
Demez, he heard a little bit through the door as he was coming through, and he says, if guards are coming, I'll stay here. I need to watch this door. They're kind of indisposed inside.
Like Fancy like looks back into the center and says, "Oh."
Graham gives them an eye. Thinks maybe he should have been there to help, but, looks like Enrikin has enough power for that left even, so. There are also important things to do.
Fancy looks at Graham and says, "Looks like not everyone cares about returning these."
So I think closing that ritual is useful as well. He'll offer like Fancy a shoulder to support her, to make the hobbling maybe a little faster.
Fancy will use it. She's not staggered, but she's her hair's like tousled, like ripped makeup. Not that she really put it on anyway. Waking up at midday.
Graham is unscathed from the battle. The temporary health, the blessing he got of endurance has taken what basically effort he put into it.
Warwick does look at you hobbling, and he does say, "If we wish to make this quick, then do prepare for battle."
Prepare for trouble and make a double, boys.
See, we'll use her like a recovery because she can rally and thinks about all of the wonderful artifacts that she will return to their rightful homes and places. Neat.
Does Fancy have a potion on her?
Demez does if she doesn't.
No, she doesn't have a potion.
So does Graham. If so I suppose that way probably way Graham will also like take a potion out and hand it to her.
Fancy looks at it, but
You might need it in the coming battle.
oh, I will have enough alcohol later, I assure you.
She frowns. It's not alcohol.
Oh.
Drink
It
it. It should take care of some of your wounds.
I'm at 49 out of 52 hit points. Fancy will say, "No, I'm good. I'm fine. Really, right now, yeah."
Okay, he'll put it back and just move along. Hurrying. Warwick, I assume. Sure. Find Greneth's secret office of power.
It is not really secret. And despite being wounded, Warwick does in fact walk faster than when he led you here first.
He's like,
He takes a turn here and there, but it does not seem far. And the few panicked people who maybe ran up here to check what's going on do very quickly leave again as they see the bloodied Epicrisarius walk with determinations to somewhere, leaving a rather distinct trail of blood in its wake. As he will eventually lead you to, well, really a series of hallways with different doors, and he picks one of those doors. He stops some distance away as he will gesture his head towards the metallic-looking humanoids standing in front of a slightly smaller gate, a very much locked gate. He turns back towards you. these guards will only back down if it was Greneth who approached them. If you wish to enter the vault, you will not only have to break down the door, which I will assist you with, you will also have to take care of these inanimate, or rather, animate guardians.
Well, there's no time to wait, really.
Fancy frowns.
Alright. With that, let's go to initiative.
I wish we could just lead them away. Can I convince them to, like... Maybe they are susceptible to bribes.
Constructs. But they're surprised, right? They didn't expect the adversaries to attack them.
The constructs are surprised.
Well, they are not surprised, but they don't attack for no reason, so they don't act first. He'll basically delay until he gets attacked.
Just walk up there and rip his face off.
Which, as it turns out, he will get attacked now, as Warwick pauses for just a moment and then charges one of them.
Let it go, Warwick.
Look at that speed!
Does he like hop fly towards them?
He more or less hobbles, but his wings are kind of spread out to perhaps give him more balance during his short charge.
That's
Not really practical in these environments, but it seems to be a perhaps habit, perhaps something trained long before. So he will swipe at this construct and do nothing. Ram.
Well, I could either do I think I'll do the unholy blast now. gathering his necromantic force that he perhaps would have offered for the ritual. Instead, he will now throw it against these things. Starting with number 1 over there. Will be the unholy blast for a 10 versus physical defense.
That's a miss.
Then it deals half damage.
And which one?
Number 1. But chance is that it's going to do the same thing against number 2, because I will be able to do another attack roll. I don't have it. Just roll a 20.
Will they both take 8 points of damage? We shall see.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Critical.
So this one will take 8 points, and then the second one will take 32 points of damage.
Yeah. That's value right there. As surprisingly, it hitting the first one, like missing it, just sort of whirling around it. He then redirects it at the second one, which just like happens to blast it, just wash over its iron body.
How I envision this is like you hold up your sword and it glows black with energy, and then do a cut mid-air and just an energy wave just shoots out, smashing into them.
It's basically just an unleashing. He doesn't really have too much control over it, and it's like hammered by the armor and just sort of spilling out of the holes in the armor and such, like just like flood almost of just pure energy that just rams
Just like
the one and
gook,
then the other
shadow gook.
one. Yeah.
That is what kind Uncle Graham is made of.
There are certainly some dents in the armor. Fancy.
Graham gonna move or do anything else?
Graham will move to engage this one.
Fancy will move forward as well. Hop. And because she didn't recover, I suppose you'd be going into her daily usages of Smite Evils. Because she did not take a quick rest against this medium iron construct, because she is convinced that it is in fact evil. And it will take half damage as a result of it being evil. Yes, it will.
Yep. And it is staggered.
Take that.
That's right.
The mechanical movements getting more and more like rigid, I guess.
Right,
As
on borrowed time.
yeah, we'll hurry this up. As this guy will attack the upper crust areas, Warwick. Not with a sword or weapon, but really just punching it. For
Today
that's a hit.
Today I punched a dragon.
That's 1 hit for 9 and 1 for 8 for 17. And the pain is very much visible in the expression of the large dragon.
So Manikai,
Let's
when
hope
our
he doesn't
meal
die
ticket,
and we lose
when
like
our meal ticket Warwick dies, like
killed him and looted the vault. We're like,
He
no.
can probably take another of those attacks, but not much more than that. As this construct will attack Graham.
I'm gonna have a
Twice.
potion. Oh god. Yeah. No, that's both hits.
Yeah, for 18 points of damage.
you dented his armor, he dents your armor.
The Crusaders will swipe against this thing once and miss again, and then he does try to disengage, which he fails. He doesn't look too happy about proceedings, especially the fact that he was already bleeding when he came here. Graham.
Well, let's try to hurry this up then. I'll use a daily use of my Smite Evil as well.
Oh my god. Splurging. Don't forget the
God damn it.
half damage.
Okay. It's still moving.
Okay. I'll use my armored in life to make an attack roll without a penalty here to see if I can do a good roll. I was gonna try and heal Warwick. Well,
Stellar performance here. It's
Just wait until you roll one on that ritual and
yeah. I saved my one for that.
when that happened, the whole temple is gonna get hit, and
I don't think my contact can save you from prison now.
they can never hold me.
Roll to disengage. Oh, that fucking succeeds. Engagement.
Okay.
The failed swing sort of carries momentum over to that guy. You know, just
That's what it is. Like Fancy so wildly
Yep.
misses.
wee. Oh hi, I'm here now.
Alright, this construct will continue punching the dragon
No,
with its sharpened knuckles.
no, don't punch the dragon with sharpened
One
knuckles.
and 2. Those are both misses for a grand total of 8 points of damage.
better die on us. We need your word.
We need you as a witness.
He'll consider it, I'm sure.
This construct will punch Graham twice. 18, 19. Or
Go home.
total of 6. Well, Warwick will try to disengage first. Does he? Would he?
Depends. Is he
Swipe.
angry or calculating?
Well, he's both, really.
Dying. That's what he
He's
is.
also dying.
He's
out.
great.
He will swipe once and miss, and now try to disengage and fail. Oh,
Breath
Why?
attack. Breath attack.
well, that was not an 11 plus. Graham.
Oh. Now I use the second. Yeah, let's use the second Smite Evil. I want this thing gone. Think of what I got for upping my charisma. So. That's more like it.
Attacks and destroys the construct as it spews its insides of gears and cogs and whatnot all over the place.
You've gotten spewed over so many times. You gotta move her quick. There we go. Neat. All right. I'm gonna
Alright, fancy.
gotta make a bardic attack again. That was a 2.
I mean,
Okay,
it's an
so
even roll.
Oh,
it's
boy.
a natural even roll. So I got this. One of my engaged allies, Warwick, can make a disengaged check as a free action.
Move it. Get the fuck out of the way,
She
Warwick.
succeeds.
All right, disengage.
Get the fuck.
Smash the door while we
Fuck.
do this.
That's the end of my turn. Holy Christ.
Thank goodness.
The construct will, well, Fancy has interposed herself, so it'll attack Fancy twice. 1 and a critical
Oh god.
for 27 points of damage.
Yep, Fancy staggered from that. She's so busy, like, trying to fucking body the massive dragon out of the way that she turns around and right across the cheek, like sharp, bloody knuckles. Like her entire, like, right cheek is, like, clawed. False blood.
Well, as you said, Warwick will get working on the door, giving the construct a wide berth. Graham.
All right. Let's just, I guess, attack it because well, I'm having some problems right now. How about I just reconnect to this server here? Because this is getting weird.
I will push your button. What do you want to attack with?
My long axe. I don't really have much fancy stuff anymore. I have a +7 to hit.
You have dealt 3 points of damage to it.
Can I do that little even?
With a miss, yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hey, Fancy.
Another daily usage of Smite Evil. I have dealt 9 points of damage to it.
Such power.
Alright,
That was another 2.
it is not staggered yet. Construct will continue punching Fancy.
Oh.
That's a miss for 6 points.
Oh.
And a hit for 9.
Okay. Down into single digits.
Do this.
Can Warwick snipe with a lightning breath like any?
No, he doesn't seem to really be able to use any of those like voluntarily. Not anymore, at least. Well, this is looking bad. He does think that.
No, break the door. I got this.
All right.
I got
I
this!
can take the hits.
It gets punched.
Graham.
I can take these hits. My potions and everything. I can take it, if I'm allowed. Try to get his attention. I will. Maggot. No, maybe not. No.
No.
We need an escalation die in here.
Well, I've been keeping track of it in my head, and it's still not enough.
I haven't.
Oh yeah.
The escalation die is 4. You don't need to add it to the initiative tracker. They're all still misses.
I'll
So
do
an
it.
18.
No. Fancy.
Alright. I'm not gonna roll to see if I can rally. You will consider falling
There
down.
we go.
There we go.
He is very much staggered, but still standing and ready to fight.
And I will bob and weave out of there. In turn.
Face me.
Right. They are
Beast.
constructs.
I intend to
No.
break into this building.
They are constructs, not even golems, so they are dumb, and they will attack Graham. Oh, this guy will attack Graham. 1 and 2.
Yes,
Or
okay, let's
12.
make it 12. Right, I'm also
Alright.
most definitely
Second
staggered. at this
fight.
point.
The door at this point is showing serious dents. Warwick probably just needs one more hit to actually open it. Graham.
This might be the time to drink a potion, I think.
What? Hit it! Hit it!
Really? Okay.
Hit it! Yes, the best defense is hitting it. Escalation
Sure.
die of 5.
You can't miss.
That's a miss.
Well, deal 3 damage to it.
Yep.
Brace myself.
Alright. Fancy.
Time program
Charges back in.
So much fighting.
17. That is not quite enough.
No, no.
Well, hopefully I still have its attention.
You sure do. As it will try to attack you twice. 1
Nope.
for miss for 4, and 2 a miss for 0.
Oh,
Like I told you, Manikai. Go for it.
Yes.
Escalation die is at 6 now.
The most intense battle we've ever been in.
The metal reinforced wooden door cracks open at this point. Graham.
Kill it and loot the room. So that's what we're gonna do. Yes.
Like,
That's what
once
we're gonna
again,
do. Look at that shit.
It crumbles.
It's a nice basic attack.
Oh, now when I was threatening a battle cry to help put us fucking back together, now you fucking.
By the smell of loot.
I need to roll to see whether I can fucking rally again. I can't. Yay!
Combat is over.
I'll take my rally. And I'll take that rally.
Now, I will never know what's beyond the door. I am 12 minutes beyond when I said I would leave.
I can make it quick. In the door,
Nothing.
you find a square room with very little furniture, apart from a few altar-like pillars, like sort of like arranged like shelves. Most of them containing things that aren't really interesting, like a painting or simply nothing. One of them, however, contains a large bag full of things and trinkets, and some of them certainly exuding some magical properties. Most of them, however, simple trinkets. All of them, fans you can see immediately, have some religious connotation, at least, to them.
Fantastic. Then I have to furl up the painting too. Everything must go. It's a
Basically,
closing.
maybe there's some
Cleared sale,
notes
yeah.
in here or something.
There are no notes in here.
I'm sure my unused artist thing will somehow help me. And there we go. I am out of here. You want us to do icon relationship dice?
Yes, please go for it.
Okay, then as we turn back to the ritual of death and doom that's happening up there.
Okay.
Alright.
The Jack! Hooray!
Yay! To help.
Rebellion!
Help! To help. Yeah. All right.
Good thing Talsper's co-host.
I guess
All
Fancy
right.
carries the bag.
The ritual. Let's finish that off then. The 10 minutes are eventually over. Let's just see how well or unwell this went.
Yes.
Jonas, I would like a skill check with your magical background and intelligence.
And level?
And level, of course, yeah.
28.
Telsiver, I would like the same thing from you.
The power is immense!
Can you remind me?
This mage's power is immense.
Yes.
Your magical background, intelligence, and your level.
Okay. There we go.
Yes.
24 and 28. As it turns out, Anakin's theory of how to close this thing is in fact correct. Feeding its own energy basically in a feedback loop back inside itself, amplified by the energies slumbering within Anakin himself, that certainly makes the cracks widen until the hole is almost open as it then slams shut, trying to emit, or at least some fragments of shadows and mists and whatnot, trying to escape in an explosive blast just before the hole closes. However, that's where Gilgalad comes in. None of that gets through his healing magic. It completely gets negated. The floor is simply a floor.
Anakin staggers forward a step, leaning heavily on his staff, panting, sweating. He looks very sick.
That is
Good work, my friend.
Phew, that was, well, certainly unexpected. But
Yeah.
thankfully we dealt with it.
He nods. Yes, and the ward's held. If that had gone out of control, it would have been. I shudder to think what we would have released. I need a safer profession than this.
Don't we all?
Looks towards the door. Shall we see if Demes is still?
Well, they're broken hold. So
Oh, okay. I thought it were.
remember, no, the dragons break through them.
All right. And I imagine that Demes will hear the screams and the explosions as the hole closes.
Yeah.
Demes will also, after a little while, just as Fancy, Graham, and Warwick return, hear a whole lot of metal boots clanking through hallways.
Get behind me.
Anarkin comes out. We should leave.
Yep. Let's get out of here.
Looks to Warwick.
Warwick is currently sitting as he turns towards you. We cannot go back the way we came. They are too close.
Sure we can. The story you'll tell them is that the acolytes were actually spies and actually attacked us and we fought them off.
Yes, we will have to talk to them. I would rather sit here and wait for them than walk painful steps.
Fair enough.
Anarkin nods slowly as he sort of...
Do imagine there's another way out, but dealing with this now would be better.
Also, Fancy did promise us a way out.
Yeah, she's blacking out a little bit. She looks like he's been punched in the face with like a metal hand that has like, you know, spikes on it a few times. So
I would
leaning
tell
against
you...
the pillar.
Anarkin look at Graham and says, the ritual was a success. We managed to contain it.
Good. We found the things that were stolen.
A complete success, then.
No, we just need a good finisher.
Anarkin looks down the corridor. Tries to stand a little bit more upright as he leans more heavily on his staff. He looks
If you stand here waiting. We'll look to Warwick and says, thank you, Warwick.
He won't react to that, continuing to stare down into the hallway, although his tail twitches a tiny bit.
It's fine.
He doesn't look very happy, but the metal boots eventually turn the corner, and what awaits you is basically a small army.
Mooks, huh? Alright.
I can deal with them.
They approach you with clearly practiced, disciplined steps, led from the back from a not quite as opposing as Warwick, perhaps in pure size, but the synonym leading these is, first of all, walking on two legs, most definitely, and completely clad in plate armor, wielding a rather significantly large greatsword. We'll, I think, do a sort of fade to black here, because at this point, you're going to be presented with two options. You can fight, if you want to, or you can accept the consequences and go to jail. That said, Warwick does manage to very quickly convince at least the guard captain that this might be even above his pay grade. As this, according to Warwick at least, is very much a Order of the Grey matter that needs to be resolved internally. You exactly aren't part of the Order in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, I am now.
You're sworn in as it happens.
Free contractor.
Yes.
We're working for Warwick here, after all.
An advisory position.
But Warwick does promise you that if you simply cooperate as well as you are able, that he will see what he can do.
Tell me...
The fate of the world is in your hands, Warwick.
Tell me, Anarkin, how did you find yourself here? Well, the dark rituals of necromancy in the graveyard started this.
That is Anarkin, the soul stealer to you.
And then he cackles. Yes, he will try to cooperate.
Fine.
All right. You will then be led with plenty of an escort away from the cathedral.
No one.
Fools, your mortal laws do not bind me.
Ah, these laws were constructed to bind the living.
Well, after a little while, after Warwick has not only been talking with a whole bunch of rather important-looking people from the Order of the Grey, but also the guard captain here, even some of the lieutenants, who seem to initially want to arrest him as well, but they very much think that that's not a great idea, and they are probably going to escalate that to people at a higher pay grade eventually. But for now, you are going to be escorted to one of the jails to await a proper trial and whatnot.
Sit like in a holding cell with some drunk.
Warwick stays here at the cathedral. He will undoubtedly face consequences as well, but who knows what those might be, whether worse or not quite as bad. That said, on the way to the jail, I am going to go far enough, or rather as far as to say that both Fancy and Gilgalad might not feel too worried. The jail you're being led to is not like the crazy high safety jail that might be slumbering underground castle. It is simply a holding cell that perhaps even Demaz doesn't think might be too intimidating, just in
Yeah,
case.
I was gonna say, when we get in there, I'm gonna like whip out like a lockpick from behind my upper teeth and just like kind of gesture to these guys. You know, "Get out here."
Click. There we go. Done. Let's go.
So, are we done
All
here?
else fails, I still have my unholy blast, and I can.
Beyond that, perhaps with my Jarl 6, there's a nobleman living here who originally comes from Halldamir and who Graham did some work for at one point, recovering some of his basically his family had like a tomb that was completely like it has sunk basically. It was built in a stupid place and now the river's covered it and it's completely over water. And he really wanted his like ancestral armor and sword back. And Graham was kind of the only person who really was equipped to do that sort of thing, given he doesn't really breathe. And so he did that sort of work for him. And so the guy is very much outraged that someone would charge such a noble man who has, like, he has died and come back, and he should not have to deal with all this bureaucracy. And he will go down to the guard post, and he will not go home before something happens about this outrageous act of complete abuse of power on the guards' side.
Okay. Sure, let's do it like that. It already seems rather highly irregular that you're being led to a holding cell that seems to be meant for pickpockets, with two guards that seem very much ill-equipped to handle, well, anything that really is not a pickpocket. On top of that, in the room next door, Graham can clearly hear his good old friend making quite the ruckus. If that is going to result in something, we're going to see next session, because Feign Jormund. All right. What happens after this, we're going to see next session. I did intend to finish that up this session, but it is first of all getting late, and I want Grimmith here for that, if possible.
Let me tell you, ritual casting unholy blast. I'll shoot us out of here.
Yes, and possibly next session we're gonna have to have the talk.
Do remember that next session I will not be here, as I will be down south on holiday.
Oh boy, that's true. I will think of a way how to do everything, because you will very soon be at a crossroads where you can either continue pursuing, I would say, your own goals, or perhaps pick up some opportunities here and there. What those are, I will present to you in a bit, but they are hopefully varied, and I can tell you that all of them are relevant in their own way. So that would be an opportunity to pick something that you as a player think you might enjoy the most, be it in themes, be it in potential activities, and those things. So do keep that in mind. I will see how to handle it. I had hoped that, well, I could finish that today and give you those options today, but it doesn't seem likely. So for now, let's finish the session right here.
Yes, and Prison's a good cemeterian who would do so much for the community. Honestly, this is just Symbol of what time? What times are these?
No,
Used to be a free man, and a good man could walk the streets with
know.
no fear, and now
no good deed goes unpunished, they say.
Exactly.
The ruckus of
there will be
the
hell to pay.
Fane,
There will be hell to pay. You hear me?
the ruckus of the Fane jobant next door does immediately result in you basically being given everything you could request, from board games to alcohol, which is, suffice to say, highly irregular, to, well, everything
We'll
that
have this guard captain fired for what he's done.
perhaps
he,
that
He
too.
has influential friends in the city council. Graham, of course, will say nothing. Just appreciate silently what this noble is doing for him. Being a man who understands the sort of situation in this city more so than Graham does. Important people
All
complaining.
right.
Something important, nothing else. Get you what you want.
As it stands, all signs point towards you not being in this jail for long. I can tell you that.
Doesn't mean we can't be outraged about it.
Exactly. You earned that privilege.
Quite the opposite. We'll sue the state. We'll sue you,
Yes.
Captain. We'll sue all of you for all the damages and hurting our reputation that this has cost.
Yep, lies and slander.
By the way, Sip, you did mention that the corpses didn't actually revert completely anyway, right? So you know, they are there and
Or you
kind of an
skeletons.
evidence that there was something wrong, perhaps.
Well, the corpses of the humans reverted into a sort of gooey fluid that very quickly evaporated, leaving only bones behind. Human bones, very much so.
The bones beneath, as it were.
And the other chaos aberration that Warwick dragged out and fought, very similar situation, except there's also dragon scales. Like, plenty of them.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
if one were to look at the scene, it would look rather peculiar.
Well,
Outrageous, I say.
in any case. Oh well. So much for Coppercake.
I mean,
It
they
does-
have a good enough justice. I imagine they have pretty good detectives here.
It also seems
Everything
that
considered.
Warwick's word actually holds a whole lot of sway.
There's only like 5 of them or something.
The gold.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that you don't think that landing in jail is like a downer on the session end here, because this was not supposed to be the end. There's more, but we'll have that for some other day.
Honestly, I
for
kind
wolves.
of expected it like
How dare they?
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Sorry, just let me get my train of thought, my train of thought all the way. I did want to ask my usual question of what did you like, what did you dislike. We'll do that next week,
Okay.
or next session, or
Okay.
at some point when everyone is here.
That's gonna be in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I'll have to see how things go. And with that said, relationship dice.
Oh yeah.
Elf King, yes. Turns out that there's also elves who, like Graham, who will not have this
dear.
go without heads rolling.
Oh dear.
Nothing.
Nobody is really inclined to help me today.
A 5 with the artist again. And a 6 with the doom.
Turns out that people know that you fought the Doom, and they will not have you be in prison.
That's
As
right.
many people as we can rally as possible.
He's a hero!
To fire this mayor and the guard captain and whoever
Suddenly
is involved in this.
mayor has like 4 or 5 icons beating down his door, being like, "You listen here!"
Hell, motherfucker, these people are paragons of
Do you know
virtue.
what they will do? What will happen?
For real?
How could you?
So what were your roles with, Jonas?
5 with the artist and 6 with the doom.
Positive artist 5, negative doom
I
6.
demand
All
my
right.
phone call, and don't say there's no such thing as a phone.
Well, rumor has it there are tubes in Crimson Peak that let you talk to people in other rooms.
What? What
Bring me one
sorcery
of
is
those.
this? Tube
You know,
comes
we had
in.
we had those at the playground at my old middle school.
Uh huh.
Scandalous.
Classic.
Or no, my elementary school. Well, probably both.
I
Good
have
rolling set here.
I've used them on a submarine.
You've been on a submarine
I have.
Really?
Yes.
when it was underwater.
Yes.
I grew. I mean, it was in water, but it was up on
That
the
doesn't count,
surface.
man. You know it.
Yeah, I lived in an old admiralty town, you know, where a lot of Sweden's fleet is located.
Hmm.
And they have open houses sometimes. But come and look at the
Submarines
submarines.
never done anything?
What? Oh yeah.
We never used submarines.
Yeah,
for
we
anything?
used them for military practices with the US a lot. So successful, in
Correct.
fact, that the Americans were like, "How the hell do you stay so quiet? We couldn't find you," and asked them to stay 2 months extra.
Okay.
So we were super effective, basically.
Mm.
They were part of
And
them.
we do
have it.
advance. Nice.
Yes.
I like it.
Was
Time to
def-
get.
Definitely a success.
Do we heal up? We get a full heal
Uh,
up in the prison.
Yeah, we
Good
are
to
just
chill.
kind of hanging around in jail.
Well, with this treatment.
No, you will not get a
Exactly.
full heal up yet.
Oh, God damn
Probably
it.
a sword.
We're
That's
too
right,
aghast at
because I
this.
didn't use literally any resources besides that rune that I was given for free.
I,
I'm too aghast at this whole situation to even consider relaxing.
I guess. We're like, why could...
I
Why
will spend
I...
recovery though, because I do need something.
Pacing
Yeah,
out
the only
time.
damage I took was exactly the same amount of damage as I had temporary hit points.
Go with this.
Nice.
I took a bit more. But it's not unbearable.
What kind of
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
shit can I actually get now? Let's go with
I
lots
don't know,
of
what
spells.
can you get for an incremental advance at this point?
Lots of spells. for
Really?
me
But
at
we
least.
don't get a spell next level?
I do. Because
Oh,
I'm
you do?
multi-class, I'm
Oh,
behind.
yeah, forget
I have all my level 3rd spells just hanging around.
What can I get?
There's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones. Might I suggest Circle of Death? So I go,
never
and
hit
then, you,
anything
and
with
then you go.
and I would miss everything.
Oh,
though.
come now.
Yeah, actually missing is dangerous as well.
Oh,
So,
fine, take ghoul form.
yeah.
Look at Goofon though. That's a beautiful thing. Just
Oh.
beautiful.
Need to find a new picture for you.
Might have used the same one some before. Don't see use some before too often anymore. And the Goofon one does have huge teeth already.
Hmm.
It's either that or summon Ghoul, but Ghoul form is just too good. I can't not take Ghoul form. It's just so very good. I think the best one, the best spell I can get, probably.
But Sip, I have to say I did like the change of pacing actually. We didn't really have a fight for a long time, and you know,
Yeah.
it
a
was
little more
interesting.
action oriented.
Yeah, I mean, you need the break from, you know, all the airping every now and then.
It wasn't the most difficult fight, but you know,
I can tell you that initial fight could have ranged from double strength, which it was, to quadruple strength. So it right now it was
the Epicrusarians had fought against us.
yes.
You also mentioned that you had some pretty bad rolls.
I mean the Chaos Acolytes, confusion is bad. Confusion is terrible.
Absolutely
But
horrible.
They rolled higher than 16 once, and they had at least 15 rolls. So you got very lucky.
Yeah.
Now,
It could have been a lot worse.
I could take another level 3 spell. I guess.
Upgrading one of them, probably.
That's one.
Or under feet.
A feat.
Feet.
You do not
I'm
need
going to
your
save
feet
the server
here
here,
because you will
and-
not walk anymore. Wingardium Leviosa.
What about their legs?
Oh.
Ronald Weasley. It is Leviosa off.
Oh, Wingardium Leviosa. Oh.
Oh.
No, I was just making macro.
No, I was cheap.
I know, but you can do that next time.
I won't remember. It's in 2 weeks,
Well-
man.
But my ghoul. Fine,
Make notes.
fine.
I need to do backing up of like save files and whatnot. I want to go to bed.
Oh.
And Sip, another thing I wanted to mention actually relative to again that session. I kind of do like how you you tied everything up together, like some unique things and the plot going on. It's quite interesting, actually.
Like the session.
Yes.
Good.
The thing is, there's concern is the wrong word, but I am mindful, I guess, that it seems that some of our unique things seems to be sort of interwoven. That Anarchin and Gilgalad seemingly recognize the same incursion is interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
We should.
Is that a concern from a player's perspective?
Yes,
or
because
something you noticed?
Yeah, no, a concern from a player's perspective, because that is something we have in common. There's also clear links probably to Graham, and he's involved in this as well. I'm not sure if Fancy, like Grimmeth's and Jake's character,
that perspective.
Because then it would be like three of us, because I'm highly motivated in pursuing that particular angle, because it's central to my character, and it has certainly been a thing both in relationship style and interaction. But my concern would be that we would completely alienate two of the other characters if we pursue that angle.
Yeah, right now I kind of feel like Dim is just all he wants is he's just kind of going along with you guys because he feels like it might bring him closer to figuring out what happened in his past. I mean, he even left the Free City basically for that reason, to go talk to Anrikin and say, hey, maybe you can help me with this. And then it just kind of flew off.
Yeah, so you need something to give you motivation,
Latch on
basically,
Okay.
it's some kind of a connection there. And probably
I mean,
like, obviously we can't make the whole campaign about what happened to Dimiz, but, you know.
Well, maybe you were researching all of this.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
Maybe you drank the liquid and accepted the dark power, and that's why you forgot.
And you mind wiped yourself to forget.
Yeah, to get rid of the madness.
First of all, I would like to say it is a very valid concern. From my perspective, I have been thinking about that as well, and I've basically come to two possible options that seem possible, plausible, reliable perhaps, which is either to try to interweave the unique things as much as I can to get you to try to work together, or not do that at all. Of course, option one doesn't work with everyone's unique thing, although you might be surprised maybe at some point. Option two is dumb because it means you are just random dudes who have to be motivated by something that has nothing to do with these crazy things you came up with. Crazy and interesting, not the negative crazy, the good crazy. I don't think I can provide a catch-all motivation that would capture a character like Dimmis, a character like Fancy. I can only throw out hooks and see what sticks. And you are right with your concern that I don't think I've quite hit the right hook for both Fancy and Dimmis yet. So what I'm trying to say is I'm basically open to suggestions. Maybe you can work something out. Maybe you're like, oh, my unique thing is that, and here's a cool idea to maybe weave that into the plot that seems to be going on. Because now you kind of know what I'm going for, and now maybe you can. I don't want to force you to adjust your unique thing to fit the plot, but there does need to be a middle ground somewhere.
Yeah.
Both Fancy and Dimmis are similar in the aspects that their unique thing is rather modest, in a sense. Whereas Gilgalad and Anrikin and Graham, quite the opposite. And I think both things can work, but in the cases where the unique thing might not be the primary motivator, there has to be something else. And I'm not entirely sure how to find the perfect one. So I would need input from, in this case, Jake and Grimmeth.
In that case, I mean, you could get together basically as a player and TM, and
yes,
try to figure out some kind of a background that
There's-
could work through that.
There's also
Not
something
necessarily
fun.
unique thing.
I'd say there's something fun in being surprised by what your one unique thing is. At least I enjoy not knowing necessarily, which means that if I came up with
that was
myself,
the draw
there
to
wouldn't be so
mine.
much exploration. Like, but I would like to sit down with Sheep if you have trouble with it and talk about Jake's, for example. And,
Yeah.
because then I would know, and I don't. He doesn't have to know anything. And
it
and I could
is-
suggest things, and you could do whatever you want. But if you need motivation, I think talking to the other players might be better than talking to the player, because knowing your own thing is not as cool. It's like knowing what your birthday gift is. You get something you want, but I mean, it's not really exciting,
It's
right?
actually kind of true.
That's true.
And on the bright side, I have a lot more time now that I'm done with the exams. So, if you want
Nice.
to,
I still don't do anything, so
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, unique things are a great thing about the 30-page system, but there's of course also the option to just have an innocent, like, unique thing, which I don't think any of the players actually want. So we can work something out, I think.
Grimmeth did seem to latch on to the idea of actually talking to the bad guy, so to speak. You know, the enslavement and such didn't seem like something his character would like. Now we get to return the artifacts and whatnot. Maybe some of those will be gifted to us as thanks for our aid. But, you know.
well, with these musings, I shall stop the stream here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for Ice and Fire, and not next week because I'm not here. Maybe Grimmeth will stream. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Might want to keep an eye on his channel. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah. Good night. Thanks for watching.
I
Bye.
Good night.